the devoted friend. Little Hen's garden was the most beautiful one in the village. His sweet, caring nature had won him many friends, but he considered the best of all the miller.
Hello, Hans. Hello! The roses look beautiful. Yes, I am taking them to the market. Should fetch me a good price. Now, among best friends, everything is common. As your best friend, I have a right on your garden, don't I? Well, of course, friend. To share with your best friend is the greatest blessing of life. How beautifully you speak. Well, you're too simple to speak like that, and still, I regard you as my friend. But then friendship does not look at each other's flaws. I see, Hans. Your best friend has robbed you of your flowers yet again. Friends always share everything. Everything belongs to the both of us, John. We'll see.
While Hans made decent money during the spring and summer with his flowers, herbs, and vegetables, during winter, he had a hard time as nothing grew in his garden then. On the other hand, the miller always had more than enough flour and corn and other grains to live comfortably.
Why don't we invite Uncle Hans to stay with us for the winter? He could share half my porridge and bread and sleep with me in my room. If Hans comes here and sees our full granary and our warm fire, he might become envious, and envy is a terrible sin. I will not let my best friend feel envy.
Spoken like a true friend.
But Father, you yourself say a friend in need is a friend indeed. So at least give him some of our flour and grain so that he does not go hungry during winter? Do you understand nothing? Friendship is one thing, but flour is a completely different matter. You cannot mix both. Now eat before I spank you.
Winter passed by, and spring was back. Little Hans was happy to be digging and weeding his beloved garden. Now that spring is here, will you go see Hans?
Well, of course he is my best friend. His garden must be full of flowers and herbs now. Fetch me our biggest basket. So good to be out in the sunshine again, isn't it, Hans? Oh, it is. After the tough winter you and I have had. There comes your best friend, ready to pluck your flowers. Well, hello, Hans. How are you? Oh, very well now that spring is here. How have you been? I was half afraid you had forgotten me. Oh, true friends never forget each other. I am surprised you don't understand that. Sorry. You know, I am so happy today that I will finally buy my wheelbarrow back. You sold it? How silly of you. Well, in the winter I had to sell my wheelbarrow so that I could buy some grain or flour for food. But now I'm going to sell my flowers and buy it back. Oh, I will give you my old wheelbarrow. Its left side is smashed and the wheels wobble, so I bought a new one for myself. You take the old one. Well, that is awfully kind of you. I have a plank of wood. I can easily repair yours with it. Well, a plank is just what I need to repair the roof of my barn. Now that I am giving you my wheelbarrow, surely you would return the favor by giving me your plank. Sure. I need you to repair the roof of my barn. I'm sorry, but I have a lot of work in my garden today. Oh, you would say no to your best friend? That too, when I am giving you my wheelbarrow? I am ashamed of you. Oh, I am sorry. I won't be a minute.
The hole in the roof of the miller's barn was so huge that Hans had to spend the entire day repairing it. He even had to use up the entire plank.
I see. Nothing is left for you to repair the wheelbarrow with. But that's not my fault. I must say, you are rather lazy and slow. I am sorry I am being so direct, but then best friends always criticize their friends to improve them. Yes, sorry.
Miller kept making Hans do work for him. Hans loved his best friend so much that he could never refuse.
Hans, I need you to carry this sack of flour to the market and sell it. After all, I am going to give you my wheelbarrow. Okay. Hans, take my sheep to the mountain to graze. I do not feel like doing it today. In return to the wheelbarrow I am going to give you. I love you, my flowers, but he is my best friend.
This went on for days together. And then one stormy night,
Who is it? Hans, Hans, it is I, your best friend. Open the door. You at this hour? Is everything okay? My son fell off the ladder and is hurt, but the doctor lives so far away that I think you should go and fetch him instead of me on this stormy night. It is only fair that you should do this for me in return for the wheelbarrow I am going to give you. You are in trouble? And you reached out to me? Well, I think of it as a compliment. Surely I will fetch the doctor. Just give me the lantern as the night is really dark and I don't want to fall in a ditch. Ah, no. My lantern is new and I really don't want anything to happen to it.
Hans hurried to the doctor's home more than a mile away. On his way back in the dark, stormy night, Hans fell into a ditch. And the next morning, his hat was found floating on the water. Hans was nowhere.
Alas, the poor fellow seems to have drowned in the river. He was a wonderful little fella. He deserves a beautiful funeral.
The villagers had been so fond of Hans that they arranged for a beautiful funeral where everyone gathered.
Well, as I was his best friend, it is only fair that I get the best seat at the ceremony and I get to make a speech. Hans was a nice fella, a bit simple and lazy, but rather a good man. He was always so touched by my words of wisdom and always open to receive my guidance. Didn't he die while fetching the doctor for your son? Well, Hans should have been more careful, and because I cared for him, I was going to give him my wheelbarrow. Now it is so sad that the wheelbarrow is in such bad condition that nobody will buy it. I should have never been so generous to Hans in the first place.
The miller had no idea that apart from people in the village, there was someone else listening to his speech. Hans, who had been saved by the farmer the previous night.
So, he sent you out on this stormy night with no regard to your safety? Well, friends help each other. Hands, tell me one instance, one, where he has helped you. Has he ever paid you for your flowers? No, but friends don't have to pay. Everything is common. While he freely picks your flowers, has he ever offered you grain, knowing that you go hungry during winter? No. So, your flowers are common and his grain is not? You have to return the favor of a broken wheelbarrow he has not even given you yet, and he does not have to return any favor for the flowers, the herbs, the plank, you repairing his roof, selling his grain, tending his sheep, and so much else? I never thought of that before. It is not his fault alone. You are as much at fault for letting him take you for granted. Hands, friendship is a relationship of mutual love and respect, not that of a master and a slave.
Finally, Hans realized that far from a true friend, the miller was not a friend at all. So, the next time the miller came to him,
I need you to repair my windmill, Hans. I am sorry, I am really busy today. You will refuse your best friend? As my best friend, I am sure you understand how I have neglected my garden to do things for you. I was hoping that as the true friend that you are, you would help me in my garden, considering I almost died for you. Those flowers are worth £2. What? Friends don't charge each other? Then surely you will not charge me for a few bags of grain worth £2.
needless to say, from that day, the miller never took his best friend for granted ever again. Friendship is the world's most beautiful relationship, but only if both friends are true and sincere. A friend indeed is one who doesn't remember you only in times of their need.